Hello, Tim Kennedy here. I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico at Jackson Winklejohn MMA in preparation for my fight against Rashad Evans at UFC 205 in Madison Square Gardens, New York City, New York. It'll be the first MMA event in the state of New York legally. I'm sure there have been plenty, but this is the first legal one, and it's a huge historic card. The biggest card in UFC history. You know, you have every gigantic name that the UFC has to offer right now. You know, you have 3 title fights on that one card. Conor McGregor topping the list against Eddie Alvarez. That right there alone, to have a guy that could have titles in 2 different weight classes, monumentic. Just magnificent, gigantic, powerful fighters on the card. Outside of the title bouts, you have a whole bunch of other fights that could, with one fighter winning, lend themselves to a title shot. I hope I'm one of those guys. I think at the end of that night, Chris Weidman and myself will both be lobbying for a title fight. You know, he will hopefully have just beaten Yoel Romero, and I will have just destroyed Rashad Evans. We both have a case. I of course, have beaten Michael Bisping badly, and Weidman, the former champion, having lost to Luke Rockhold with a win over Yoel, will position himself, positively for a fight with the current champion, Michael Bisping. It's so weird to say that Michael Bisping is the champion, but he is. So you just got to tip your hat to that guy. What an enduring spirit. I don't want to say anything nice about him, but him bouncing back in that fight against Anderson Silva, and then lastly, the big when he won the title against Luke Rockhold, dropping him with those clubbing punches, and now defending his title against Dan Henderson. Pretty crazy. So I'm going to answer some questions, and then so you can see what we got going on here today. This morning, I'm training 2 days a week with the ranch, BMF Ranch, with Cowboy Cerrone and all the guys that are out there. He has monsters. He's going to be on UFC 205 fighting Kevin Gastelum. So he's brought in lots of talent, really high-level wrestlers, high-level boxers, very powerful, compact guys like Gastelum, which has worked out well for me. Fighting Rashad Evans, I have a lot of great training partners. And then the rest of the days of the week, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I'm at Winklejohn MMA. And that gym, it's a new gym. They've been open about 16 months since they left the old location. They have 50, 60 guys living in the dorms. They've recruited some of the best wrestlers on the planet, some of the best boxers on the planet. Everywhere you look in that entire building is talent. It's humbling being in there. Holly Holmes still in there, Diego Sanchez, John Jones, John Dodson, the Karate Hati still. She has a big fight coming up against Paige. So it's a great gym to train at, and it's really humbling being surrounded by so many talented guys, and of course the coaching of Brandon Gibson and Winklejohn and Greg Jackson. I'm lucky to be here. This year's been crazy, so after hopefully answer some questions, give you an update of where I am right now. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna make a coffee. It's one of my micro meals during the week. I'm not getting to eat a lot. This is the lightest I've been in 2 years. I'm skinny. I am making 185 is not an easy thing for me. I'm naturally like a 220, 230 pound guy that doesn't carry much body fat. I train year-round, 2 workouts a day. I eat 6,000 calories. I am a mesomorph. I'm a 5'11", just testosterone heavy special forces sniper, Green Beret Ranger that just packs on muscle. So 185 is tough for me. Like today, my diet has consisted of, I woke up, I had some egg whites and a gluten-free English muffin. And then I went and swam Our swimming workout, it's a regular Olympic level pool, Olympic distance pool. We'd swim 200-300 meters as our warm up, and then we'd go to the shorter end and we'd do dive and sprints. So you dive off, sprint to the other side, get out, and pull yourself up on the other side, turn around, dive back in, repeat. You do 10 of those, and then you'd get to breathe for about 60 seconds. We have a swimming coach, on the clock, and we did that 5 times. And then the 6th set of 10 sprints was you would dive in, and for the 30 meters, you weren't allowed to breathe. You had to hold your breath. So when you pop up, get out of the pool, you try to slow your heart rate, control your breathing before you turn around and jump back in. Here, I'll show my leg. This is I'm like a big hairy troll of a dude. This is all the skin that's missing from dragging my body out of that pool 50, 60 times. So I was tiring. My boxers, I'm not wearing boxers. I'm wearing Ranger panties. This right here, Ranger Up. These are every Special Forces, Navy SEAL, Marine Recon guy earns these, and I love them. Ranger panties to me are workout shorts. They're going out on town shorts. They are lingerie, sleeping attire. They are my boxers underneath my pants. They are the nemesis of my wife, but they're an oasis for the crotch. Yep. Ranger panties are the most remarkable things ever created, and I will wear them till the day I die. I earned mine, so I wear them with pride. When I hand my phone off to my buddy and I make some coffee for you guys, you're going to get full view of the majestic magic that is the Ranger panty. I'm also wearing an On It shirt there. Yeah, I'll show you guys are asking about my supplements. I will show you all the supplements that I take. I try not to take supplements. I try to eat almost all real food, and the supplements that I do take are very, very, very natural. I'm not like straight edge, I'm like a barrel-chested, blood, fire-breathing American, so I like bourbon sometimes, my barbecue. But I'm a really healthy, clean person, so I try not to indulge in things that are going to inhibit my performance and what I'm going to be doing, the next day, the next workout, whatever I have going on. When I'm not in fight camp, my day involves getting up, going to the gym, working out, and then going from the gym to the range, and I shoot for 2 to 3 hours, go grab a bite to eat, rest, recover, then, do some work for a few hours, then I go and I train again, and then I either rest and recover and hang out with the family, or the family goes to bed and I go and I train a third time. So I'm a 2 or 3 workout a day, and I shoot 4 days a week, maybe 3 or 4 days a week. Here in Albuquerque, during fight camp, I only get to shoot maybe once or twice a week, which is a bummer. But 308 or 5.56 depends what I'm shooting and how far away. That's people are always surprised with some of the guns that I have or the calibers that I use. I do not discriminate in any way, shape, or form, especially when it comes to firearms. I think that just like when you're building a house, there is a tool for every job. You cannot build a house with a hammer, and you can't build it with a screwdriver, and you can't build it with a drill gun, and you can't build it with just a nail. You need an assortment of very special pieces of equipment, of tools that you need. And I think shooting's the exact same. I have lots of different tools that I use when I'm shooting. Yes, I'm at Jackson Winklejohn. Thanks for coming in late. Lots of questions, so I can't keep up with all of the questions. Preston, do I like 300 Blackout? Absolutely. The ballistics of a 300 Blackout are a very short in regard, so it's a powerful, heavy bullet that, between 1 to 300 meters is vicious. But the drop off, for the BDC, the bullet drop compensation that you have to do for shots further than 300-400 meters, the bullet doesn't make a lot of sense. I wouldn't use a 300 Blackout for anything outside of CQB or hog hunting. I think that's what it's ideal for. But, in Afghanistan or Iraq, where I might have a shot at 50 meters and then I might have a shot at 600 meters, it's too slow of a bullet that can't do the job. Do I like Alvarez or Conor? Man, it's every time I count Conor out, he impresses me. So I thought Nick was going to beat him again. That was a great fight when he fought Nate Diaz. Sorry, not Nick. And so a nod there. I thought he was going to lose to Chad. I think a heavy wrestler could beat him easily. I'm going to have to go, I don't know, with Alvarez maybe? Just 'cause he's a hard-hitting, moving, takedown powerhouse. I think stylistically it's a bad matchup for him. But what else is going on? All right, so this year I got a TV show coming out in a week and a half called The Triumph Games. It's going to be on CBS, and I'm the host of it. I'm also the voice. So when you're listening, you're like, God, that guy sounds weird, and he slurs his S's and his SH's, and he stumbles when he says his R's. That's me doing the voiceover. And I'm the host. So the guy introducing the games, the guy asking the questions. The contestants in the show of the Triumph Games are military veterans that are wounded, seriously, badly. Like missing legs, broken backs, shrapnel, and then there's some with scars that aren't so easily seen. There's a young lady in the competition of the Triumph Games. She was actually raped while she was deployed by a fellow soldier. She is a testament to the strength and character, all of the the characteristics that I aspire to have. She exemplifies. While she doesn't physically have anything, like that, just the thought that she was hurt so horribly by a fellow service member. She's one of the contestants in the show. She's one of the competitors. They're competing for $50,000 prize, and some of it's fitness, some of it's memories. It is a cool show. I'm hosting it, CBS. It comes out October 31st, and it's a 3-part series, and then like a 2-hour special on CBS. So that's the first one. The second one is season 2 of Hunting Hitler. The season 1 ended up being the History Channel's #1 show in the world. If you guys aren't familiar with it, we put together a team of investigators, and we look into if Hitler didn't die in the bunker in 1945, what would have happened to him? Where would he have gone? What would he have done? And this is the investigators are people that have specialized in hunting humans their entire life, whether it's war criminal guys or forensic expert, FBI, CIA, Green Beret, Army Special Forces guy like myself. And we start tracking these Nazis all over the world. Argentina, Chile, the Canary Islands, Spain, Portugal, Uruguay. I mean, we get deep. And it's real. This isn't a scripted show where like, all right, here's your lines. They say, hey, this is where you're going and this is what you're looking for, and we get after it. It's scary at times. We go places and do things that are, I think to most people, frightening. Climbing through tunnels and caves that have been collapsed, or going through sewers and scuba tanks, or looking for poison, with self-contained breathing apparatuses and hazmat suits. It's crazy. So here I am in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I have about another hour before I head out to the BMF ranch. And tonight we spar. Tonight's MMA sparring. Have one more week of sparring before we get to ramp it down a little bit and hopefully get rid of some bumps and bruises before the fight camp. While I'm in Albuquerque, I bring my whole family with me. I got my puppies. Puppies! Come here. Here's my dogs. Hey, Jude. There's my other dog. There's our backyard. Wife, kids come with us, and bring the car, live here for 6 weeks, train, and then go and fight. Then I get to go back to Austin, Texas. Yes, Austin, Texas. I am so hungry. Like, you cannot imagine what it's like losing 30 pounds in the course of 5 weeks. And I still have 20 pounds to go. You know, like, this is like I flex. You know, if I flex my calf muscle, it cramps. If I'm so skinny, I just want tacos. Is that asking too much? Tacos, maybe a beer, you know, some bourbon, some brisket to go with my In-N-Out burger, which we also have in Austin now. P. Terry's maybe. But what I'm about to go make is a bulletproof coffee. And that's one of my micro meals that it's one of the 6 meals I eat in a day. Caffeine, obviously. A little bit of butter, so good fats. MCT oil. Coffee, obviously. And really good coffee, because when you only get to eat a little bit, the stuff that you get to eat is really yummy. Here's my puppy still. Hi, dude. He's gigantic. He's like a 120-pound German Shepherd that doesn't like people he doesn't know. He's a good family dog. Do I like Johnny Hendricks? Yeah, he's a fellow Texan. Why don't I fight at light heavyweight? Well, I'm 5'11". When you look at like the St. Pierre or the St. Preux, you know, the guy's like 6'4", 250 pounds. You look Glover Teixeira's, the Phil Davis's, Rashad Evans. Even though he was a big, strong, powerful guy, at 6 foot, he was too small at 205. And he, you know, the guys that he lost to were guys that could just outpower him. It's going to be similar at 185. I think he's going to be disappointed, expecting to be stronger. Do I support Black Rifle Coffee? Yeah, Evan's a friend. You know, he's a fellow supporter of Range 15, one of the producers of Range 15. And we have a lot of shared interests, but I have friends that I've been friends with for a really long time, like Keith Jardine and Tate Fletcher at Caveman Coffee, and Mike McKim, a fellow veteran. He lives in Austin, Texas, from Cuvée Coffee. So those are the coffees that I have the most, is Caveman Coffee, which Onnit carries, which, you know, I'm sponsored by and that I love. And then Cuvée Coffee, which is kind of like a boutique, really delicious, fantastic coffee. Yeah, DC is, he almost breaks, so Daniel Cormier, like he is 5'11", he fights at 205. John Jones, just with height and reach, I think Daniel Cormier maybe is a better fighter than John Jones, but because of the way that he's built, the way that John Jones is built, he was able to defeat and neutralize Daniel Cormier's offense, if that makes sense. So while there's an anomaly like Daniel Cormier, if you look at my weight class, when you look at the Luke Rockholds and the Anderson Silvas and the current champion Michael Bisping, you know, all those guys have 3-4 inches of height on me, at least. You know, when I fought Hodger Gracie, what is he, 6'8"? In my past 15 fights, I think I've fought 2 or 3 dudes that are the same height or shorter than me. Everybody else has been taller. So no, I'm not moving up a weight class. It would be easier for my muscle mass, yes. And the weight cut would be easier, but what in life do we want that's easily earned? I don't want anything. You know, everything I want is through pain and suffering. So, you guys want to go see my coffee recipe? I'm gonna go inside. So this is our house in Albuquerque. Here's my buddy Shane playing guitar, one of my training partners from Austin, Texas. He was swimming this morning with Cowboy. Woo! How much water did you drink?
Like 2 gallons of pool water.
It's rough. You guys want to see? So here's my supplements. So Shroom Tech I take before my workouts. It's like opens you up, gives you more oxygen in your muscles. Alpha Brain, something I take when I'm getting hit in the head a lot. TPC, Total Primal Care. That's like vitamins for all the day. Here, I'll be slow so you guys can see it. Can you guys see everything? So this is here at my fight camp. This is what I'm taking every day. Oh, there's one there. Super Male Vitality. Any questions? Nate versus Connor 2. How do you say that? I don't know. It's a great fight. And then here is my favorite section, the coffee section. So blender, grinder. Don't even look at that. That is like a must just in case. Everything we do is with the French press. So here's the Caveman coffee with some On It MCT oil. And then here are my favorites. So Cuvée coffee, Las Mingas, is probably one of my favorite brews. It's a medium roast. It has some like hints of chocolate in it. Delicious. So what do you guys think I should have? Should I have Cuvée or Caveman right now? Oh, you want brisket? If one more person talks about food while I'm doing this, I might find you. I'm just kidding. What are the side effects of what? That's a super broad question. Does the UFC give fighters lists? No, so USADA, United States Anti-Doping Association, they go through our supplements, and everything that I take, I have sent to USADA, and I ask them if it's okay if I take it. And they go through the list of ingredients that are in each of the supplements, and they say, yes, you're allowed to take this. It has nothing that's going to be prohibited. So before I ingest anything ever, I send it to them and make sure it has it has no ingredients that are precluded from what I'm allowed to have. Right. What's this thing here? You guys see me? So here's the MCT oil that I like and I use. This one is creamy vanilla flavored. The last one was coconut flavored, but coconut oil and MCT oil is like magic for the brain. It's good fats. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and Cerrone knocks out random people no. Cowboy's awesome. I think everybody thinks Cowboy is way more insane than he is. He's a hard-working, smart, not only a great fighter, but a good businessman and a focused athlete. Do they actually test or read the ingredients? I don't know what USADA does. The question is, does USADA test the ingredients? I don't know. I send them what I'm going to take, and they say you're allowed to take it or you're not allowed to take it. So I don't know if they test the ingredients or if they just look at what's in them and then adjust accordingly. So I went with Las Mingas. The white gold Caveman is delicious, and the Sabertooth's delicious, but this has a little like coffee flavor in it. And because I'm cutting weight, I don't get to have any sweets at all. So I really want something sweet. So this is how it works. Let me turn this thing around. So I put the coffee in the French press, right? Water's boiling. Water goes into the French press. In the blender, right here, we're gonna put a little MCT oil, and then baby chair. Then we grab some unsalted. So this is Kerrygold unsalted butter, and that goes in the blender as well. So there we go. Here's the recipe for what's going to be my butter coffee, which will be my pre-workout meal. So here's my fridge. A lot of food prep goes into fight camp. This is all barbecue chicken, a couple of rotisserie chickens. This right here, I'll just show you this because this is like my favorite thing in the world right now. This is white halibut ceviche. It's a Pacific halibut. Everything is locally sourced: tomatoes, jalapenos, serranos, onions, and then lots of limes and lemons. So you can see, oh, and then right there, Topo Chicos. Again, when you're cutting weight, you don't get to have any soda or anything. There's my wife's champagne. Iced tea for me. gluten-free English muffins, lots of veggies, lots of fruit. Questions? How many kcals while dieting? Dude, I do not get to eat enough. On donuts? So you want to see something super mean? Let's go talk to my buddy Shane. Shane, after we swam, who knows how long today, where did I take you?
You took me to a donut place. What was it called?
It was called Rebel Donuts.
Right, listen, I didn't want to go.
So we'll get a close up. This right here, this bag. Look in here. Those are donuts. I'm cutting weights, and there's donuts in this house. Here, I'll just drink some water. Feel better about myself.
I'll let you smell the bag.
What's my EDC pistol? All right, so I'm traveling, a lot of bebopping, going to ranges. So here is my EDC fanny pack. And this is the knife that is with me all the time. Little Ghost Strike. Can you guys see it? So right next to sunglasses. So there you go. That's my EDC when I'm... Remember, I'm traveling. I'm not in Austin right now, so just for convenience, I kind of have to, instead of appendix carrying or inside the waistband, that right there is what I'm rocking. Single stack Glock 43. What are my plans after fighting? I own 3 different businesses, and I am doing a lot of television. But the businesses first. I own a shoe company called Woobies, and they make tactical. How would you describe them? Tactical vans? But I don't even want to say vans because we're gonna put vans out of business. They are like low visibility, low pro shoes that are designed by special operations guys that look like normal shoes, but the detail that goes into them, like the tread is the width for climbing barbed wire and chain link fences. The height is so that you can jump out of planes and wear them on halo operations. They have drain holes and places for your fins to hook into. So they are perfectly suited for a special operations guy. The t-shirt company, Ranger Up, we make jeans, polos, but most specifically t-shirts. We make the funniest and best military t-shirts in the world. And I'm one of the owners of Ranger Up. I love that company. Support them. And then lastly, I own Sheepdog Response. You can go to sheepdogresponse.com. It's a defensive tactics company that does government contracting, law enforcement, military instruction on shooting and self-defense. Yes, I have a 2-round mag extension on my Glock 43 from Terran Tactical. The name of the shoe company is Woobies, Woobies. Like in the military, the blanket that we are issued is, we call our Woobie. And it was like the most fantastic, comfortable thing that you were ever given. And it's the only piece of issued equipment that you loved. So that's what our shoes are named after, the Woobie. I'm still waiting for my water to boil. We're at altitude, so it boils at a lower temperature. It's a little bit faster. Yes. I'm really excited about my coffee. What helps cut weight the fastest? Lots of exercise, lots of water, and dieting. There is no trick. There is no like magic pill. There is no routine. It is hard work. That's it. Diet and exercise. If you want to lose fat, you have to get in the gym. You have to work out really, 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 really hard, and you have to eat clean, and then drink lots of water. Yeah, and it's the most, that's funny. Casey, you're totally right. He said the Woobie is the most stolen item in the military because it's the best. Yeah, you never go to the field without your Woobie. Head inside or outside in singles? I shoot both. That's, I like singles a lot. And you have a rocket? I don't even know what that means. You guys have crazy questions. Sheepdog Response. Thanks, Dana. while Sheepdog Response has been a military and law enforcement defensive tactics company for a while, we just this year opened to civilians. So we have had 3 classes. Shane in the back there is one of our instructors. We teach civilian concealed carry classes, not concealed carry classes. We encourage you to conceal carry. We teach people how to be the hardest person somebody ever tries to kill. From shooting, knife fighting, hand-to-hand stuff, like the instructors. Oh, yay, water bowling. So at home, I have an electric kettle that gives me an 190-degree water. Here at altitude, it boils lower, so we're going to wait a second, let it cool, and then put it into our Las Mingas Caveman coffee. And then next is the butter. It's the only time of the day that I get butter, and I only get like a teaspoon of it. Okay. Magic. Can I do this without burning myself? Look at that deliciousness. No, I got it. Shane's like, as you're pouring boiling water, do you want to hand the camera off? So you guys got any questions about fight camp, about training schedule, about routine, about supplements, about any of my companies, Ranger Up, Whoobies, or Sheepdog Response? Am I all about organic? Edgar, the organic thing, yes, but real organic. So my meat, I usually kill. Like the meat that I eat, I see alive before I eat it. If that makes sense. People that are going to the store and buying organic, they don't even know what organic means. Can you define what organic means? I know the government is defining what organic means, but that definition is, 1, ambiguous and vague, but 2, it's the government telling us, and how much do we believe the government these days? You know, so why no Black Rifle coffee? They didn't send me any. They're not from Austin, and I've known Keith and Mike for a while. If Evan wants me to drink